So, what is boot process? This is your laptop. Do you know what happened when you turn on your laptop behind the screen before they ask for user and the password? The first step is called BIOS and CMOS. The second step is called POS. The third step is called reading partition table. The fourth step is called the bootloader. The fifth step is called the kernel and the RAM disk. The sixth step is called OS kernel and unit. The seventh step is run levels, and last but not least is called GATI.
So the first process is BIOS and CMOS. BIOS is known as Basic Output or Input System. It is an integrated circuit on motherboard that can be programmed with firmware. It is the lowest level interface hardware in your computer. BIOS also perform power on self-test, which is called POST. It is to ensure the minimum required hardware such as CPU, memory, and video card. And once they are done, it must be configured. So now let's move on to CMOS. CMOS is actually complementary metal oxide semiconductor. It contains all settings that BIOS need to save. So basically, it is a memory storage of BIOS. BIOS will first take the memory frequency and attempt to set that on the memory controller. Then, BIOS multiplies the memory frequency by CPU frequency multiplier.
The POS will perform basic checks on many system components, including first is memory, second is hard drive and other devices, third is keyboard and mouse connected, fourth is initialize any additional BIOS. The third step is called reading the partition table. Next, major function of the BIOS is to determine which devices use to start an operating system. A typical BIOS can read boot info from the devices below. The order of devices to scan can be set in the BIOS. First is floppy disk. Second is CD-ROM. Third is USB. Fourth is hard drive. Last but not least is network. The fourth process is called the bootloader. The purpose is to load the initial kernel supporting modules into memory. It is also known as GUB, which is Grand Unified Bootloader. What it does is it initializes itself in stages. The stages are Stage 1. A very tiny application exists. It exists to load the next larger part of GUB. Stage 1.5 is to contain the drivers necessary to access the file system with Stage 2. Stage 2 is to load the menu and configuration in GUB. The fifth process is called the kernel and the RAM disk. A kernel is a main component of any operating system. It acts as a lowest level link between hardware on computer and applications running on computer. A kernel can access to software by using a device drivers. Imagine that there are 10,000 devices in this world. There are hard drives made out of different connectors, video cards made out of different manufacturers, and network card made out of different interfaces. And each of these need its own device driver to bridge hardware and software. The initial RAM disk. What it does is it provides module support to the kernel for boot process. It also allows kernel to load enough driver from file system. The sixth process is called OS kernel and unit. There are init system, which is an organizational scheme for determine the load order for system service during boot process. The traditional and most common use Init system is called system vinit. This is a program called bin/init. It accesses hard drives and needs to be executed first. While this is a program called etc/inittab. It used to figure out what script should be run to initialize the system. The seventh step is called run levels. There are 3 general consistent run levels. 0 to halt the system, 1 a single user mode, 6 reboot the machine. Difference between multi-user and single user. For multi-user, system boot as normal. The network interfaces it configured are enabled. For single user, bare minimum of service enabled. It is useful for troubleshooting. Last but not least is called getty. It is to provide a login prompt on a teletype which can be in physical or visual serious console form. It will then continuously spawn bin/login, which reads the username and password of the user. If authentication succeeds, it will then spawn the user's preferred shell. And that is what happened when you turn on your computer. Thank you for watching.